morning, children, and welcome back. Let's start with a prayer. Dear Father God, bless our time together this morning and help us to have fun learning about you. Amen. And now I'm going to make a tent. Wow, that was quick. But why am I building a tent? Well, Lisa's Bible story this morning is about a man called Abraham. And Abraham lived in a tent. But before we join Lisa, I've got a birthday to share with you. Tomorrow is Hetty's 9th birthday. Hetty, we all wish you a very happy birthday. And now, let's celebrate Hetty's birthday with our first song.
Cause he's not that tall. Cause my God is bigger and I watch him fall. I'll be singing. My God's bigger than giants. My God's bigger than lions. My God's bigger than the creatures of the deep. My God's bigger than my God. My God's bigger than giants. My God's bigger than lions. My God's bigger than the creatures of the deep. My God's bigger. Well, have you heard the one about this guy called Dan? Yeah, he was a mighty holy praying man. They said from to the den of the scary beast, but God saved a hero from the lion's teeth. Yes, he did. My God's bigger than giants. My God's bigger than lions. My God's bigger than creatures of the deep. My God's bigger. Same for me, like Jonah and the whale at sea. When I'm lost and afraid, all alone in the dark, you are with me. Oh, you're with me. Everybody sing. My God's bigger than giants. My God's bigger than lions. My God's bigger than the creatures of the deep. My God's bigger than me. My God's bigger than giants. My God's bigger than lions. My God's bigger than the creatures of the deep.
Hello children, today's story is called God's Friend. Abraham was rich. He had lots of servants to do his work for him. He had lots of camels and sheep. And he lived in a very nice place called Haran. One day, God spoke to Abraham. I want you to leave Haran, he said, because I have a better place for you to live in. Now, Abraham might have said something like, where? Or, how far? Or, thank you very much, but I'm quite happy here. But he didn't. In fact, he said nothing at all. He just gathered up his wife and his servants and his camels and his sheep, and he went where God led him. Why? Because Abraham trusted God. It was as simple as that. Canaan was the name of the place where God led Abraham. and a very nice place it was. A land flowing with milk and honey is what some people called it, which means that there were many cows and goats and bees there, and plenty of flowers and grass for the animals to eat. It was altogether a pretty place, and Abraham liked it very much. The only problem was that Abraham had no children, and besides that, both he and his wife Sarah were very old. Grandpa and Grandma old, and maybe even older than that. But Abraham trusted God. So one night, God said to him, "Abraham, look up. Do you see the stars? One day you will have so many children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren that counting the stars will be an easy job compared with counting them. Now, Abraham, look down. Do you see the ground? One day there will be more members of your family than there are bits of earth on the ground." And what did Abraham do? He chuckled. That's what. He giggled, he chortled, he laughed. "Me and my wife have children," he cackled. "We're much too old for that." But God wasn't joking. "You will indeed have a son," he said, "and through your family I will do something wonderful for the world." So Abraham trusted God, and it wasn't long before God sent 3 messengers to visit him. Abraham was very kind to them. He washed their feet, which was a polite thing to do in those days. Then he served them some fresh baked bread and creamy beef stew. It was delicious. And as the visitors were patting their tummies and wiping their mouths, they said, "We will be back next year. And when we return, Sarah will give birth to a son." Someone giggled. Someone chuckled. Someone laughed. But it wasn't Abraham this time. It was Sarah, who had been listening in the tent nearby. And the next year, when God's promise came true and the baby was born, there was laughter again. So much laughter, in fact, that laughter is what they decided to call their son. For that is what the name Isaac.
Yes, he's with me every step. With me, God is with me. Yes, he's with me every step. I know God is with me every step I go. I know God is with me every step. With with you, yes, he's with you every step. With you, God is with you, yes, he's with you
Thank you for the story, Lisa. Do you remember last week's story about a tower? I've got a picture of a tower to share with you now, sent to me by Arthur, aged 3. Great tower, Arthur. Thank you. Have any of you become prayer adventurers this week? If you haven't, get Mum and Dad to find the details on the parish website. And when you do become prayer adventurers, let me know how many sheep you managed to catch. And don't forget to let me know if it's your birthday next week. It's the church's birthday next week, and Debbie is going to be reading us a story about a very special gift from God. So don't forget to join us. Until next week, it's bye from us, and God bless to all of you.